Hold on, guys, I'm still here. I'm just trying to find out where exactly my OBS studio went. It has hidden itself from me. Hold on. Oh, I found it. Okay. It was regularly hidden. Very, very odd. Okay. Anyways. I guess I should turn myself on the camera, huh? That would be helpful. Alright, so, we have went through, my NASDAQ. Yeah, I went through Bitcoin, which I think, we just, suffered a huge loss, which I think scared people into selling, and this happens. I think the same thing happened with Ethereum. And now what I would be looking at is SPX for sure, and gold. I definitely want to take a look at gold. And the reason I want to take a look at gold is because it's doing the exact opposite of dollar. So how about let's get into the dollar, right? You guys want to get into gold and you want to get into all that stuff. I know you guys are probably more crypto freaks, and crypto is basically going to follow Bitcoin. So I would say everything's probably at the lowest point. Let's check out Ravencoin, one of my favorites. Still doing pretty good, not too bad. Let's check out Cardano. Still, look, it almost got to my ultimate trade. I'm actually just gonna, I think, did I get wiped out of this trade? I did get wiped out of this trade because I moved it to break even. And the funny thing was, I actually called where Cardano was gonna go, even after. Yeah, I entered in like right here, and I was like, wait, I think Cardano's gonna go here, and then I started looking at other things. So I was like, wait, Cardano's gonna go right here, and sure enough, Cardano did actually do all those things. And right now we are still in this 15-minute fair value gap of Cardano right now, which, well, it was in the 15-minute fair value gap of Cardano. Now we're starting to see it push up out of there. So, which is interesting because since Cardano, ever since it got listed on, well, I think right around here is when it got listed on Coinbase, and then everybody that had been holding for a while, everybody bought into Cardano since it was on Coinbase, and everybody had been holding Cardano for a while was like, boom, I'm cashing out. And smart move. I don't blame them. Or at least take 25% profit, whatever you can take. But all right, that being said, let's head on over to the DXY. So the dollar has been moving up, and reasonably so, which is actually surprisingly, to be honest. I have some markings over here, trying to figure out what is going on with the dollar. And I think the best way to try to figure this out is to look at the daily of the dollar. And there is basically a volume imbalance right through here, right? And it has just entered that volume imbalance. So volume imbalance means when there is a body to a body, and there's there's just wicks in between. There's no body, you know, supporting the next body. But there is a void basically right here. That's why it's called liquidity void, which price likes to reach to. And look what price did. Price just now to it, reached to it today. That being said, I think that's what we were talking about earlier. Price trying to reach to that liquidity void, and it did. And now here are some other areas that price could try to reach to. And the reason price would want to reach to these areas is so that it could start being bearish again, basically. So what I mean by that, I mean, so from this point right here, back in November, right? Actually, way before that, but this point right here specifically in November, right, is when it had its dramatic fall off all the way down into, I think it was January, sorry. And it's okay because I take that off. Let's do this up just a little bit. I hope that doesn't screw up anything. Nope, it didn't. Okay, so right around here, January 6th, you can't see it because it's below bodies in the wicks. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit. And it, yeah, okay, there we go. There we come on now. Come on now. Good. Okay. Either way, okay, now I think you can. Either way, you can see that this right here was January 7th, which is where it made its low. Ever since it's made its low, it slowly but surely crept back into this. Sorry, I have a hodgepodge. I need hodgepodge of vines, and who all knows. Around this spot. So, all right, now that I get rid of most of that, you can see price is, of course, it these are the areas that I was talking about right here. Okay, so here, let's just go and right, so it reached the top of that. I'm just gonna change the color of this. I don't like red unless it means, you know, absolutely going to demolish and destroy, you know, and go below. All right, so We have this area right here. It actually just filled it, right? And now it is starting to come back down. So, since it is Thursday, this could be trying to top of the week. I don't know. I really don't know. This could be trying to top the week. Or what it could be doing is that it could be already getting into that realm. Alright, just trying to stay away from that. Interesting. List off. Yeah. 6-2. Hey, nailed that perfectly. File dashed. Now, if I'm going to be looking at this and I want to see if I want to see this run up to this 70.5%. Okay, this is of course is golden zone of and look at this. It's exactly at this height as well. I mean, can't get any clearer than that. Can't get any clearer than that. 92,800. I mean, even this was high, was 92,800. This is 70.5 is 92,800. So, if I was to guess, I'm gonna guess this is already at its weekly high. And I'm honestly gonna guess that it's already at its weekly. I guess that it's probably gonna come possibly down into here, right? Probably try to hit, if not get below this, maybe do a pullback and then try to just rest along here. What, Thursday? It could honestly pull back into this area and then boom, take off and then try to get to here by Friday and then fall back off. So that's what I'm trying to find interesting about, you know, the dollar. I don't think if anything it'll get into this area here before it pulls up. I don't think it's going to try to come all the way back down to here. I think that's too far for it. I think if anything it'll just pull back down into here before it tries to pull up. Right. Dollar kind of surprised me today with this, even though it looked like it was sideways for quite some time. It, well, now within the last however so long, especially when I was watching it through here, You know, it wasn't really doing anything. Then all of a sudden, boom, it decides to take off. Now it has cleared this. Wait, now we're moving back downwards. Now I want to see if it gets back up to this 70.5, where I think it'll ultimately go. I really do think it will try to get back up 70.5 before it sells off again. But that's just personally me. That's just my own thoughts. And then after that, we're gonna start seeing it slip fall. Or we could start already seeing it slip and fall. Who knows? That being said, let's look at the inverse. What the dollar is. Right? What is the inverse of the dollar? Gold. You can see, instead of it being higher, it is being lower. I'm looking at the daily chart. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Actually, let's actually do look at the day. My batteries are dying in my mouth. Help subscribe to my Patreon so I can afford more batteries to my mouse. Seriously. Alright. So, what is happening with gold? Now, what is interesting is that we do have this buy side liquidity up here, right? Would mean the dollar would need to get lower. So I'm feeling these fair value gaps down here also have. All right, let's start breaking this down. There you go. Low, high, lower, low. Boom. You have a breaker. Breaker all the way across. These 4-hour gaps. Right? This is where the dollar could be heading. If the dollar is getting stronger, that means the gold is going to be weaker. Right? But as soon as it hits that 70.5, that's when it could be hitting this area, and then we could see gold take off. Right? So I would say watch gold somewhere around the 1715 area. Right? Maybe even 1720 area. 1715, 1720 area. This is where you're going to want to watch gold. Because once the dollar starts to move up into, if it does move up into those areas, it's going to start coming down to these areas. And of course, once it gets into that premium meaning that it is very, very expensive, which means people are going to want to start selling. People are going to want to start shorting the dollar. People are going to want to start shorting the dollar. They're going to start wanting to long the gold. Right? So at this from all different angles. Again, have this. I don't know what this was from. But look, we have equal highs right here. So much on the upside of gold. Right here, even. Look at this. Look at these equal highs. Around around 1875. 1876. So something like this were to happen, if we do see the dollar start to move up and we see the gold start to move down to these areas and it gets into that dollar premium or all of a sudden people are going to start wanting to sell the dollar, going to start wanting to buy the gold. This is the area, this is definitely the area where people are going to want to buy the gold. Okay. Go high, oh, boom, breaker all the way across, and gets to the bottom of that breaker. As soon as it gets to the bottom of it, what does it do? Boom, takes off. Doesn't try to get below it, anything like that. This is acting as support, right? So whenever I'm just waiting on the dollar to go up, get to that certain spot, and once it does, gold is going to be taking off. Not taking off, but it's at least going to be growing at a rate faster than I. That's for sure. So I think gold is going to be one to be watching out for again. You know, you had these weird kind of go high, low high, low high, low high, and here you can, I mean, even right here, you know, you had a low. Really didn't have a fat body here though, so that's why I didn't really consider that being a breaker. You need a fat body to be a breaker, and that's where this comes in, right? Fat body to be a breaker. 4 hour. Let's break this down into the 1 hour. I mean, look at this. As soon as it touches that 4 hour fair value gap, boom, it takes off. So I have a feeling, as you can see, it's slowly but surely coming down into this area. That is because the dollar is getting a little bit more and more strength. Once it gets above to that premium, it's going to end up eventually right in this area to where gold is going to be. So, and again, always, you know, use these indicators that I've been talking about. These indicators are amazing. These opens to open interest. Just look for your indicators, type in open interest, right? I have open interest money flow index and open interest stochastic money flow index. These two are some of the best indicators I have ever found. Tell you exactly when to buy, when to sell. Easy to read. As you can see, whenever it's in the green, that means we are a little bit oversold, and then if it crosses over into the red, that means that we are going to be selling. You can see it's right now with this one, it's in the green, which means it's in buying mode. It's not so much in extreme buying mode because of the stochastic. As you can tell, it's not above a 50. So, you know, again, this applies to regular stochastic as well. But if you see stochastic, you know, do one of these right here, right? And then you see it take a green, and then you also see it do one of these, or actually see it in the red and come up into the green, and boom, that is going to be your perfect opportunity. Again, I don't like indicators, but these are the two that I use because they make the most sense. Whoever invented them, his name is Naldo. I reached out to him, praised him, thanked him. He able to incorporate quandle information into these indicators. So trying to think of what else I can look at for gold. Now if we were to pull back into these areas, right, into, again, we're gonna have to watch out for a lot of you know, the price action that's going to be happening on the way down. If it's a big red blanket all the way down, this is where we're going to have to be careful trying to come back up out of this, because if we see a big red blanket and then we see the green trying to come up out of it, that red blanket of that fair value gap is going to try to push it down. And we could try to see it push it down all the way down to the bottom of the 1700, right? But if it's not doing that, if we're seeing it doing some of this and it kind of, you know, kind of dancing around and doing this, and then it hits this, and then we could see it really take off, right? Trying to find a bullish order block, even and actually that would be right here, right along with this 4-hour gap, right? You can see have a huge red, you know, big drop in here. This is where I would consider bearish order block to be looked at, right in this area. So it may not have to push all the way down into this area. It could be a little bit higher, but what you want to see is you want to see it get into that bullish order block, and you don't want to see it get too deep into it. It could get a little bit into it just because of the fair value gaps that are, you know, currently in place. You could see fair value gap right here, right? Style, yellow line, boom, flow, in 1 hour. So you could see it pull into here, hit this bullish order block, probably push even in a little bit more, and then boom, take off out of this. You could see it actually come all the way down into here, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think what's going to happen, I think we're going to see it happen more around this area, and I think that's why I'm going to draw a box right now. Probably within the next couple days. Yeah, I think within the next couple days we're probably going to see it come down into this area, and then boom, turn around and take off. I think is what we're going to see with gold. As far as Forex is concerned, man, I have no idea with with the dollar being bullish and having the aspect of being bearish soon. We could see this be a fake out, right? Could see this wanting to buy this, right? Wanting to buy this, thinking that this is going to be the bottom of the GBP, as to where this could easily, these equal highs up here, Easy target. Boom, come up above these equal highs. Look, there's even right there. Perfect. Coordinate. Perfect. Okay. Waxing here. Right, so what I would think you would see from this, I have to see what's going to happen overnight, but I think what could happen eventually is that, especially maybe London, this comes up here, hits this, boom, max down, right? Or could play around, and then New York Open, come up, hit this, boom, comes down, right? Until we get to those premium dollar amount. So we get those premium dollar amounts, you know, and then we start seeing that dollar start being bearish again. And as soon as we start seeing that dollar being bearish again, that's where GBP start rising. And that's also probably when we're going to see Euro USD start rising as same things happening with Euro USD. Everybody's thinking that this is probably the bottom. Everybody's thinking probably trying to buy here, right? Again, look at this, equal highs. What tricks people? Tricks people thinking that I wouldn't even say it tricks people, because this would trick people into thinking that, hey, that as soon as it comes up to this, it's gonna fall. Then what it could do is it could come up to this and make people think it's gonna fall, come back up, and then fall, right? Or come back all the way up to this breaker right here that I have. Then, you know, go breaker, and then come all the way up and then shoot right through. Then what I have a feeling is that it's going to come above and break these equal highs, hit this breaker, and then possibly come back down. Possibly come back down until we get those premium prices from the dollar. Once we get those premium prices from the dollar, then we're going to start seeing a rise, and we're going to start seeing the GBP. Anyways, I have covered a lot in an hour and 30 minutes, and I hope whoever has paid attention this long, thank you so much. And I hope I brought some kind of insight, you know, to your trading. You know, I hope that whatever I am telling you can click with you. I hope I'm trying to give you a narrative. I hope I'm not just trying to tell you, hey, buy here, sell here. I'm trying to tell you, hey, these are what the charts are telling you. The charts are an algorithm. You know, this is not just by random. Everything is done by a computer program. I hate to tell you this, but you know, not everybody, not, you know, if that was the case, we could all go tomorrow and buy SPY, right? We could all go tomorrow and say, I want $1,000 in SPY, every single one of us, and SPY would not move one bit. SPY would probably move a little bit, and it would move around a little bit. It would do this and it would do that, and then people would wonder what would happen with SPY. because it has to do with the IPTA, the interbank programmed algorithm. So it just is what it is, right? So be careful out there, be trading. I am not a broker, I am not a financial advisor. I want to put that out there. I am a person who just wants to share their experiences online, and hopefully I can get, you know, the best out of people. If you do like the content, if you do think this is going to be helpful and you want to share this with other people, what I want you to do is subscribe, hit that like button, let people know that there's somebody out here that is trying to look out for you. I'm going to be starting a signal service come either June or July. That signal service is going to be offered at basically half off to anybody that signs up to my Patreon. My Patreon is only $3. So, and right now I'm looking at a monthly price of about somewhere around 80 bucks. So if you're with my Patreon, it'll probably be somewhere around 35-40 bucks. I want to offer it a lot cheaper to you until I can prove it. First, I'm going to offer it for a couple months free for everybody, just so they can just so I can prove to them that I can do this. Right, and once I can prove to them that I can do this and that they're actually making money off of me, then of course I have to, you know, put in, hey, there has to be a price to, you know, guys to pay. But for my Patreon members, I want to give them that price, and for you guys that are joining up early, again, it's not much for my Patreon. It's only $3 to join, and that's $3 a month. $3 a month. That's it. That's all it takes is $3. $3 when you got $3 in your pocket, and put that in your Patreon, and then get probably some of the best, hopefully some of the best signals that you're ever gonna get. And then after that, what I plan on doing is hopefully taking on, you know, sub accounts. Basically trading for people. What I want to do is I would, of course, 2% management fee. I wouldn't want to do 50-50 trade. I would want you to keep most of your money. I would rather do 70-30. That way that we most of your money, and I would 30. I am not trying to try to rip people off. Because I'm gonna make money too doing my own trades. But considering I am taking on extra responsibilities, there is going. Either ways, I'm going a lot overboard. I'm telling you a lot about my future plans that I could be going over completely different videos. But for that, for now, thank you so much for watching. I do gotta get off of here.